What stops others from using our time and energy as an extension of their own? It's knowing when to say no, because that's like having a compass to guide our decisions, something that answers all those doubts about whether it was the right thing to do, or was it rude to say no, or did I miss out on something good? So let's get straight to the things we should say no to make life a little easier and a lot more satisfying. One of the major things we should say no to is simply working hard. Hard work is a virtue, a very important life tool, but without a smarter approach, it can lead to frustration. Working hard but smart too gives us the most out of our time, energy, and resources. That's what checks off more things on our to-do list and frees up time to actually enjoy life. Do the things that we want to, not just the ones we have to. Work hard but analyze your progress from time to time. See whether there's a better way, a faster, simpler, and more efficient way of approaching things. It will make things move in the right direction at a nice pace, freeing up time to unwind, relax, and recharge. And when we can see the results of our efforts, see getting things completed one after the other, it makes us more confident in our abilities and more satisfied with life. Before moving on to the next point, let me quickly introduce myself. My name is Nandita and I'm on a journey to have a bigger say in how things look in my life. And if that's something you too would like in, then this channel is for you. The second thing we should say no to is setting certain goals in life just because we are supposed to, like get your degree by a certain age or career by another, get married, win a significant promotion, and so on. That really might work for some, but if it doesn't involve things that excite us or demands a pace that makes us feel hassled, maybe it isn't the right one for us. One of the most successful people of our time, investor and philanthropist Warren Buffett, also believes this to be so. He says that people are wired in a certain way, and if the things we choose to do are not in sync with who we are, then even if it brings us a certain amount of success, it won't bring us true happiness or satisfaction. And to feel satisfied in life, it's important to understand our unique qualities and focus on those opportunities that make the best use of them. It's a habit that's guaranteed to make life feel more satisfying and meaningful no matter what level of success we achieve. It's important to stay aware of our limitations, but when we start defending them, saying things like, "That's who I am," because we believe we can't change, they start to limit the possibilities in our life. So another thing we should say no to is championing our limitations. Because as brain coach Jim Quick says, if you fight for your limitations, you get to keep them. People say they are not technical or the creative type. That shows they think it's unchangeable. True, these things might not come naturally to all, but it's always possible to learn and be better at something than we are today. Suppose there's an app we really want to use, but our computer doesn't support the processing speed. What do? We upgrade the hardware on a computer. It's the same idea with the goals we want to reach in life and the type of life we desire, because we have to be able to offer those things that they demand, and that means we may need to upgrade some of our skills and qualities. But if we believe we can't change, then that gap will never be filled. The next one has a big impact on our peace of mind, confidence, and happiness. But before going into that, if you're finding this helpful, like this video so that it can reach more people who might find it useful. Appreciate that. Getting acknowledged for our efforts, being appreciated, not only feels good, but is also an indicator that our efforts are going in the right direction. But this is only so when first, these feedbacks are genuine, given by people who know what they are talking about. And second, we are not leaning too heavily on what others think or say to know if we are going in the right direction. Because feedback on non-technical or subjective things are essentially opinions. And opinions have a way of being heavily influenced by each individual's own experiences, values, priorities, and issues. So they aren't necessarily a correct reflection of who we are or what we do. So one of the things we should say no to is attaching too much value to what others think or say. We need to aim for a healthy balance between what we know and feel is right and an outside perspective on our actions and decisions. Use external validation only as an occasional guide when feeling uncertain. The fifth thing we should say no to is not auditing what we expose ourselves to. People, environment, world news, opinions, situations. You might have heard the famous quote by Jim Rohn, You are the average of the 5 people you spend the most time with. The attitude, mindset, and opinions we spend time around for a long time have a tendency to start coloring our own judgment and attitude in life. It's like after watching funny cat videos for a while, we are more apt to look at the funnier side of things. This is because it shifts our focus. The environment we spend time in has a way of influencing the things we focus on, and the things we focus on design the quality of our life. So curate the type of people you surround yourself with, the type and amount of news you watch, your social media feed, and the tone of your self-talk. Lean towards people who inspire, encourage, and build you up. The next thing we should say no to is letting stress pile up in our life. A little stress is good for our immune system because it releases adrenaline in our body, which in turn activates the T cells that protects our body from bacterial and viral attacks. But when we don't address the things putting us in stress mode or do anything to unwind, relax, or slow down routinely, the abnormal state that stress puts our body in stays stuck, and it keeps getting added to over time until it overwhelms us, spinning, doing everything without being able to catch up. So, to stay productive and for our overall well being, it's important to make some kind of stress relief a part of the daily routine, whatever works for you and fits in your schedule. Stress might be good, but long term or chronic stress isn't. One of the most important things we should say no to is saying yes without being fully convinced, because that tells a lot about us, most of which isn't complimentary. Think how many times we say yes just because saying no would feel selfish, rude, or would make things awkward. Like someone asks us a favor, and even though we know we would be spreading ourselves thin, we agree because it's tough to say no straight up. It feels rude, it feels selfish to refuse to help someone. And even though your good heartedness might make you agree to others' requests at the cost of being uncomfortable yourself, over time it gives people the wrong idea. It encourages them to use our time and energy as an extension of their own, and they agree to take up more than they can manage, confident that they will be able to pass it over to us. If it feels it's turning into a pattern for someone, then no matter how bad it feels in the moment, refusing to play along is the right thing to do in the long run. So is it rude to say no? If it's done for the right reasons, the right way, at the right time, no, it's not. It's important to know what our priorities are in life and how much we are ready to negotiate them for others' requests. That's called having healthy boundaries in life, limits beyond which we aren't ready to extend ourselves. To make it a natural part of how we respond, it does take a while and a bit motivation to stay consistent. Now, getting motivated is easy, but staying motivated is a whole different ballgame. I did a video a while back on how to stay motivated, which I will link over here if you would like to know more. The art of saying no is a life skill, and it not only helps us manage stress better in our life, but also makes it more meaningful and uncomplicated. Hope you found this video helpful. You take care, and I'll see you soon.